Hello, my soul friends, and here is your energy reading for August 2019 from the fairies. So, to clear cards, we always take a deep breath. We clear our mind, and it's important to clear the energy on the cards as well. So, for every time we do a reading, we should clear the energy on the cards. So I like to visualize a sunset and just like a very neutral blank canvas type of neutral scene. Some people like to call on Archangel Michael and ask Archangel Michael to clear the energy. That's helpful too. So you can say something like, Archangel Michael, please clear and cleanse all negative and previous energy from the tools that I'm using right now. Help me to give an accurate, sincere and helpful reading for myself or for others, or say the person that you're reading for. I also like to, with my right hand, when I'm giving the energy a clearing, give it a knock. So that just kind of resets everything. Especially when you're doing readings a lot like I am, you need to clear your cards regularly. Another way of doing that is also leaving a clear quartz crystal on top of the cards overnight, and asking your spirit guides to clear the energy so that they're nice and neutral for the next reading. So what have we got from the fairies today? And this light that's sparkling around me on this wall was not intentional. I have little kind of mosaic candle plates, candle holders. And it's lovely because I wish you could see, but the whole room is just sparkling with these little fairy lights from the light. The sun is hitting off the mirrors on the mosaic. And I thought, wow, that's definitely a lovely confirmation that our fairy family are with us right now, helping with this reading. So what messages have I got for you from your fairy friends, the good people? Nadini Maha in Irish, that means the good people. And we're calling upon the high vibrational fairies who help us, who guide us, who love us for the month of August. Okay. Okay. We need to let go, letting go. It's a beautiful image. I love that card. So it's all about releasing, letting go, surrendering to what is going on right now for you. Stop pushing against, stop resisting, stop trying to be, stop trying to force solution. When we're forcing anything in life, we're not in alignment, we're no longer in balance, we've lost the power, we've lost our way. So the letting go card asks us to surrender to what is, and then we can integrate it, then we can process it. Because the eclipse season really, really took a lot out of us. It usually does, pretty much. I mean, you might get the odd year where it's a bit calmer, a little bit easier than others, because that's just the energy at the time for you, for your particular soul path. But most of the time, eclipse season, and it's designed that way. It's supposed to give us that wake-up call to get us out onto the path that we're meant to be on, to get us moving to the place we're meant to move to, meeting the people we agreed to meet prior to incarnation. So, it's about really kickstarting those synchronicities. So by letting go and letting God, or letting source, the higher energy, letting your higher self take over and get in the driver's seat and let your ego take a back seat. Because when we're forcing, when we're manipulating, when we're headbutting our challenges, our obstacles, you bet your bottom dollar that's your ego that's driving the car of your life. So it's about letting the soul take over now. Now we have honoring your true feelings. Okay. So when this comes up, it's usually telling us that there's something we're not honoring inside ourselves. There's something that we're not placing value on. Maybe it's a gut feeling about a particular environment or person in our life that we feel it's come to an end, it's time to move on from. Perhaps we need to change job. Perhaps a friendship has run its course and it's time to move on from that as well. But it can also be much more, what I'm getting right now is it's much more subtle. It's not such a big drastic change and move. I feel like we've done the drastic stuff that we needed to do in June and July, especially July. This is more about those undercurrent, subtle, restless feelings that we sometimes just want to surface and scratch over just the top of. We're just not willing to actually go into, because if we do, we're afraid that we'll have to admit some truth to ourselves that's not comfortable, something to ourselves that doesn't feel good, that doesn't feel like it's like we think we'll get overwhelmed. We think if we actually look at that truth, at that honest reaction to something or someone, that it'll just be too much work. And that's actually not what I'm getting from the fairies that will happen. What I'm getting is it's more about the work of honoring and acknowledging that this has caused a hurt in you, that this has caused a pain in you, that this person's actions or lack of have left a mark that you need to tend to, that you need to nurture and you need to heal and you need to apply the soothing balm. And how we do that is through self-care, self-love, awareness, consciousness, shining a light on those feelings. And also being willing to hold a space for ourselves, no matter what other people think, to allow ourselves that time to process, and not factoring in how other people will see us by doing that. It's about picking up that part of yourself and giving it a great big hug and embracing that part of yourself that feels unloved. So I don't think it's anything dramatic, although it can be. If you know, like if you feel there's something big, like I need to leave my job, take this as a sign. You need to honor your feelings by taking action to leave the job and find a better job that suits you, that suits what you want to do, suits your natural gifts. Because we're all born with natural gifts that are specific to each lifetime. And it will bug you. You'll feel restless if you're not using and engaging with those natural gifts that are yours to share. But for the rest of us, it's a more subtle acknowledgement. It's a subtle understanding that we need to place integrity around those hurt feelings and not let other people brush over them. Okay, so I love this card. My inner child just loves this card. This is Happily Ever After. And it's a real fairy tale card. I love it. I love fairy tales. I love anything to do with the fairies. Always love fairy tales. So Happily Ever After tells us that whatever you've been concerned about, whatever's been a worry and a weight on your shoulders, it's almost over. You don't have to worry. You're going to live happily ever after. You're going to get your happily ever after. You're going to receive your good. Whatever that means, whatever you've been pining for, whatever you've been praying for, it's coming about now. And that could tie into the next card, which is romantic partner. I love this card. I remember getting this before I met someone very special. So the romantic partner is what it says on the tin. It's meeting somebody who could possibly turn out to be your life partner, somebody who you have a significant soul connection to, somebody who impacts your life in a powerful way. But this is romantic in nature. It's love, sex, romance. There's nothing casual about this encounter. There's nothing, it's not temporary. It's somebody who will make a lasting impression. Like, this card doesn't come up very often because, let's be real, we don't get to have these kind of powerful relationships all the time in our lives. And when we do, it is an absolute blessing. And it's important that you recognize it as a blessing and that you again, honor, back to the honoring, honor that connection and keep a space for it in your life and nourish it, nurture it. So if you're looking for romance and you feel that lovely feeling we get before we meet somebody special, it's like you kind of, as a sensitive, you often pick up when you're about to experience something really, really tangible, really impactful in your life. Definitely go to that party, go to that wedding, get out there, be willing to meet friends of friends, spread your wings, because when the romantic partner shows up, there's going to be a beautiful exchange of energy. Now, we have creative expression. So I've been really feeling the creative energies lately. Like, I bought a huge big canvas. I bought my oil paints, some new fresh oil paints. I'm really excited. I love painting. I love working with textures and colours, and I love colour. So this August is like, it's like you just, in June and July we kind of had to build up the energy, break it down, strip it back. But now we're actually ready to paint the colours on. We're actually ready. We're rearing to go. We're ready to get our teeth into that lovely slice of cake, and being the end of summer, which is a lovely time to really focus and do all those things that, you said you do at the start of the summer. So it's kind of an inventory time. What creative pursuits have you neglected? What creative side of you do you need to focus on? I'm getting really strong writing. Those of you who are writers, those of you who put pen to paper, that's your creative expression. Really important that you actually do that now and put the pen to paper and actually get that down in black and white. Like I said, painting, dancing, music, getting there really, really strong right now. Music is so important. Pulling out that instrument and actually plucking those strings, or, putting it to your mouth and blowing and really making that sound. If you've neglected your musical talent, if you've neglected that expression, please tend to it and actually put it into your weekly structure, into your diary. So, on Wednesdays and Fridays at such a time, that's my time for me and my music. The fairies love music. When we play music, they get very excited. You can often tap into your fairy guides dancing around you. So creative expression is really, really important. That could also be with your work. So teaching workshops, giving one-to-one sessions if you're a healer, that's creative expression. You're tapping into that creative matrix of energy. So maybe you've not made enough time to see your clients or to write a workshop and actually give the workshop. August is a great time this month to do that. Family harmony. So, what family member springs to mind? What I'm getting really strong with this is that there was someone who has hurt you, a family member who's very close to you, like a bloodline, somebody through blood. That's what I'm getting, that it's a blood relative who's perhaps really hurt you recently. And I feel like that's coming to a climax. I actually had, there was this gift that I bought a family member years ago when I was very young, and it was a little heart-shaped glass crystal little jewellery box. And I accidentally, when visiting, knocked it over and it smashed to smithereens on the floor. And I knew it was significant of something, and I felt it was confirmation of that relationship's heaviness. It was like the karmic lessons, for want of a better word, because karma does no longer exist in the fifth dimension in that traditional way that we thought of it. But as in the soul agreements, the soul lessons, what we had to teach each other through that exchange has reached its climax, its completion. And that glass box or glass little heart-shaped trinket smashing was, for me, confirmation that had reached its climax, and that I could finally put that to bed, that I could not have to worry about the heaviness of that anymore. And it was symbolic that I had shifted dramatically to a place where that's no longer going to have the impact on me that it's had in the past. So this is about somebody in the blood relative who's hurt you, who's harmed you. I want you to think of 9 things about that person. 9 things about that person that you absolutely love, even if that's really hard to do. And that's the whole point of the exercise, because the person who's really hurt you, you're focusing and you're seeing, and totally right, you know, you've every right to do that, to feel all those hard feelings that they've caused, or that you feel they've caused. But the whole thing is, this exercise is to just realign and help you make the shift over the bridge that is causing you to only, you're only meeting that person at the point of all that negative stuff that you've built up in your mind about that person. So the fairies want you, I'm asking you to do an exercise of pen to paper, get focused, and actually think of 9 things about that person you love, the qualities, how you interact, what they've given you in the past, even just things that, maybe not even things they've given you, maybe it's just you just love when you look in their eyes because this is somebody who you are related to and you connect with and you love unconditionally. It could be their smile, it could be how they make you laugh, it could be you know, that time where they got you out of a jam and helped you out in some way. I want you to really tune in to the goodness in the relationship, the positive side of it, the things that have honored you, and maybe recently they haven't honored you, but I want you to find the things and write them down about that person and write their name at the top. You could do it in your journal and just write out things, qualities about them or things about them that you genuinely love. And it has nothing to do with the harsh times that have happened recently or the bad stuff that's happened. Just focusing from a source soul perspective of that person. And this, believe it or not, this little exercise is so powerful for helping us, you know, bridge that gap between loving this person but also resenting the hurt they've caused. Because when we refocus and when we choose to extract the parts of a person that the soul connects to, that the soul recognizes and loves, when we meet them again, we will meet them from that space because that's in our energy field. It's in the aura. So when we do cross paths with them, it will be from a much higher perspective, a much more soulful place. So I really, really hope that you take that on board. It's a very, very simple but very powerful way to help you shift through that obstacle that you're having with that family member. Okay, so I thank you, my fairy friends, Nadini Maha, my fairy family, for working with me and through me on behalf of myself and yourself. And please show your appreciation here for my free work here that I'm sharing with you. And give me a thumbs up because it encourages me to know that there's actually an audience for what I'm doing and that you're interested in more that I can share with you. And if you have any ideas about what you'd like me to discuss, that you'd like me to explore in spirituality, health, well-being, please leave it in the comment section below. And subscribe for more of these videos, and sending you all beautiful fairy angel blessings.